Earlier this week, George Santos's first quarter campaign donations were filed with the FEC, so we got to see just how badly Santos is doing in the fundraising department. He actually raised negative $3,000 in the first quarter of this year because he took in a little over $5,000 in donations, but had to refund over $8,000 in donations. So after that story came out on Monday, George Santos came out on social media and announced that he is officially and definitely running for re-election. Now, we know that Santos had already filed to say he was running for re-election, but he only had to do that because he was still raising money, and the FEC says, listen, if you're not running for re-election, legally you can't raise money, so you have to file for re-election in order to keep raising money. So it was more of a formality that he filed the paperwork. The announcement this week makes it official that he is running for a second term. And the bigger irony here too is that George Santos actually said a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, that he was not going to run for a second term. So, not shockingly, he lied again. He's like, I am totally not running for office for a second term. And now he's like, you know what? Dang it, I'm running for office again. Now, my big issue with this is that people are forgetting about George Santos. They're 100% forgetting how horrible this man is. They're forgetting about everything he lied about. Now, we have had a lot of things happen in the news in the last month or two. Right? There's always something weird in the news cycle, something horrible in the news cycle, something, tragic, something who knows what. But with all of that taking place, George Santos has now kind of gone under the radar. We've forgotten about the 6 different investigations that he is facing. And if the voters continue to look the other way, then by the time next year's primaries roll around, you're going to have, believe it or not, a lot of Republicans in New York who say George Santos had those issues at the beginning of his campaign, at the beginning of his career, but then it kind of went away, and he actually, we kind of liked what he did. Maybe he's repented. Maybe he's changed. Maybe he deserves another chance. That's how idiots like this remain in power. And yes, people do forget. The American public has a very short attention span. Our short-term and long-term memories are not what they should be. If you think I'm lying about that or you think I'm wrong, I'm going to point you to the fact that many Republicans who were directly involved in Donald Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election results won re-election just a few months ago in November. So, yeah. That kind of proves my point there. People forget. And if we don't keep the pressure up on George Santos, he could easily cruise to another election victory, at least in a Republican primary, because those are the voters who tend to forgive the most egregious behavior because they're too damn tribal to see how horrible their people are.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.